Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy, and today we're going to be going over the 2019 Ram Power Wagon. I have actually been waiting quite a while to do a video on a Power Wagon, and that's because they're such low production trucks. This is the first one that this particular dealer has gotten so far. But as always, a big shout out and thank you to Larry Schmiller, Dodge Ram, and Sandy for providing us with the vehicle today. If you are on the market for a Ram, definitely check these guys out. But if you are stopping for the first time as well, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. We will do a quick walk around on the truck, go over the key features, and then we will take the Power Wagon out to see how it drives. So starting under the hood, and sorry that it's a little bit dirty, this truck just barely came off the transport truck and is actually set to get cleaned up for customer delivery in a little bit. But under the hood, you have a 6.4 liter Hemi. It is naturally aspirated. It's gonna be routed through an 8-speed automatic transmission now. And then in terms of power figures, you're gonna have 410 horsepower and 429 pound-feet of torque, and the EPA does not release fuel economy numbers for this particular truck. Now, to wrap things up front, I definitely love the styling on these new heavy duties. So on the top, you get the blacked out badges for the 2500, and then it's kind of hard to see because this truck's finished in granite crystal, but there's a hood decal as well. And you get the more aggressive grille that comes with the Rebels, and the Power Wagon has a little bit different bottom bumper, but we'll go over the headlights first. So full LEDs right here, LED reflector lights, and then you get parking sensors integrated into the front bumper. You get some tow hooks, and then you can see here you have a place where you could put a winch since this is a Power Wagon and it is set up for the off-road. Like I said, this truck is finished in granite crystal, and you can see that in the sunlight. Definitely love this color, and you guys know that my truck is this color, so a little bit partial to that. Up front, we can see we have those Goodyear Wranglers up front, and they definitely are a lot more aggressive since this is the Power Wagon. It's meant for off-road. And you can see they didn't go crazy big with the tire rim setup, and that's to create a lot of travel with the suspension. So if you are off-roading, you can have quite a bit of basically leeway to go, and you can look at the suspension in there. Those shocks, they're definitely tuned for off-road use. And speaking of, you know, going off-roading with this truck, these trucks are actually geared to have 410 gears, and that's because that's going to be a little bit better for the off-road compared to, you know, if you had 373s or, you know, 342s that you can also get on the 2500s. So coming around back, this is the key fob for the new 2019 Power Wagon. It's just like the key fob and all the other 19 heavy duties. You have your tailgate release button there, and then you have your remote start button. We'll do the remote start button first and then lock and unlock. So you just press this button twice. First time we'll lock it, second time we'll do the remote start, and you'll hear that 6.4 liter Hemi start right up. And then if you press the remote start button again, that'll shut the truck right off. The other button on the key fob was the tailgate release, so you press this button twice and that will do the slow lowering on the tailgate right there. And you can see that this truck is already equipped with a bed liner, has LED bed lights as well. And you can see that this one's equipped with the cargo camera. We'll go over that momentarily, but you get an LED light up there and then power rear sliding window. Speaking of the bed, these tailgates are actually really easy to pick up, so it's really lightweight, easy tailgate to use. But we can see the backup camera's integrated back there. You've got the Ram logo in the back, receiver hitch down below with some more parking sensors. And you can see here you actually do get a step, so this truck's equipped with it, so you can actually pull that out down to the side, so then makes it easier to step up to the truck. Now this is a random point and it's not all that important, but I just like to mention it because I thought this was cool. They've added this little kind of like design onto the fender flares, and it's in the front, and you can see it's in the rear and in the front as well. I like that design. I just like how it looks. It kind of makes the truck just look a little bit more unique. We can see here that you have some fixed side steps. If you wanted to be a little bit more hardcore with the Power Wagon, you could, you know, go for power side steps basically, and that would make it so you have even more ground clearance. Coming to the back here, we can look at the panel, and you've got some nice gloss black trim here with a little bit of a design on it. Soft touch. You get some leather bolsters here with contrasted stitching as well. Now this is going to look most similar to the previous generation. We've got our ice buckets in the back here. You do get heated seats in the rear with this particular one. It's optioned out with it. Power outlet, USBs. And when we look at the seats, these are the new seats for 19. And this one's spec'd out with the leather seat package. You can get cloth in the Power Wagons. But I got some cup holders there. And then these seats do pull up. You get these little storage trays here, and there's actually a subwoofer under the other seat. If we pop up front, this is the keyless entry system. So one touch to lock it, and then unlock it, you just put your hand on the back. They do have a light now on the mirrors that you can shine down, basically the side of the mirrors, but this is equipped with the trailer mirrors, so you basically can flip these up if you are towing something, and they are power folding as well. We'll go over that in a moment, but we can look at the panel for the front. And starting down below is a sound system. So it's not a 19, but a 17 speaker sound system with a subwoofer made by Harman Kardon. And then you're gonna get your contrasted stitching, leather bolsters. Again, you get more of that gloss black trim with the soft touch there. All of your window controls are right here, your power folding mirror controls, and that is actually to adjust the outside mirror part of the trailer mirrors. And then you have your memory seats as well. Coming around to the side, we have all of our adjustments for the seats with your adjustments for the lumbar. And we have all of our light controls over here, power adjustable pedals, your steering wheel control, and you get a traditional kind of like parking brake. So you just put that down with your foot and that'll do the parking brake. And then before we step inside, I like the look of these seats a lot. They've got these nice bolsters, so they'll keep you in place, but they're not super tight, and the leather feels really nice on them. And it's cool that you get the little Power Wagon logo on those. Now this is gonna be the fun part. This truck's really high off the ground, so step in height is definitely a lot higher. You will need side steps on this truck for sure. So to start up the Power Wagon, if you just put your foot on the brake and push the push start, that'll start the truck right up, and the gauges will do a sweep and it'll show Power Wagon across them. So starting off on the steering wheel here, we have all of our controls for cruise control and adaptive cruise control. We've got our gear selector down here if you want to shift the gears manually. There's a rocker panel on the back of the steering wheel. You can control volume and channel. And then over here, you've got your controls for the center screen. We'll go over that momentarily. And then all of our voice command controls with that, and then Bluetooth with the phone. Apologies in advance for the glare on the screen. It's just super early in the morning, and that's the only time that I was able to get a hold of this truck. But RPMs on the one side, you got your temperature gauge, the configurable center screen, I'll go over that in a moment, and then you've got your speedo on the right side with the fuel gauge. But this little center screen, you can scroll through a bunch of different menus, and I'll scroll through most of them right now, but it gives you pretty much any bit of information that you want on the truck. I usually just leave mine to be a speedo, just so that I stay safe on that aspect of things. But you can see that it gives you pretty much any bit of information that you'd want on the truck. And you can see this truck's only got 12 miles on it, but so far it's been averaging 14.6 miles per gallon. I imagine once you get the engine broken in and a few more highway miles, it'll go up from there. Now this is gonna be the fun part with the Power Wagon. So this is your dial shifter to go in and out of gear. That's gonna be new for a lot of people if on the heavy duty side of things, because it used to have a column shifter. But you can see you've got your axle lock here, hill descent control, sway bar disconnect, and then you have front and rear lockers. So it's got a ton of off-road tech. This is essentially the Wrangler Rubicon of trucks. And then just down below that, you can see there's a bunch of USBs and USB 2s. And then you do get a traditional on-the-floor shifter to shift into four-wheel drive. Now starting up top, we've got our little 12-volt up there you can charge your phone. This is the 12-inch display. You can get the 8.4-inch, but you've got analog climate controls on the sides. Down below the screen, you've got your parking sensors to turn those on or off, tow haul mode, stability control, and then you do have your trailer brakes. And then you get analog controls for the radio on the side as well. I'm just gonna have to film it at an angle here, hopefully, so that I don't have too much reflection in the screen. But this is the 12-inch display. I've gone over this in a couple other trucks. You get some split screen function with some functions. This truck, since it's fully loaded, has the heated and ventilated seat package. You can see it's got navigation as well that'll fill up with the whole screen. You can do like split screen with the controls tab, dual zone climate, and you can see you got the radio here. And then if we go to the home page, this is all like drag and drop. So you just have to hold things down and you can put whatever you want into this little sidebar down here. And you can pop over here. Basically, you've got tons of different tabs with a bunch of different settings in it. And one of the cool things is, like with the safety and driving assistance you see here, you can customize all of that on the touch screen right there. And then with the audio too, you can change like where it is in the cabin. We are going to go over the camera system now. So first we'll pop it into reverse, just so you can see what the regular backup camera display that'll pop up. So you can see there's a little bird's eye view, and then there's trajectory lines with a traditional backup camera. But if we go into the controls tab here, you see that you have your regular backup camera that you can do full screen with, and you can actually zoom in on the receiver hitch. You can go to your cargo camera, which again, you can zoom in on that function as well. And then you've got some cameras on the sides, which you see you can go from side to side on these cameras so that you don't scratch your truck if it's a tight parking space. And then if we go to the surround camera system, this will give us a bunch of different views. So you can see that you've got a reverse view, you've got a couple different views on the front, and then just back to the cargo camera. And you can see that you can even change the center line on that, which is really neat. Now we can see this has the bench set up, so you can rest your arms here, but you get a little bit extra storage under here with another charging station. You can pull this up to be a third seat, and then under it you get even more storage with a CD player as well. And then if we pop over here, we get a dual glove box. So you get a glove box up top and then down below. If we look up top, this is a traditional sunroof, not a panoramic unit. All the controls for the sunroof are over here. We've got our controls for the power rear sliding window, some light controls as well. And then you have your control to drop the tailgate from the interior. Wrapping things up on the interior, it definitely feels a lot more upscale. There's some nice stitching throughout and soft touch materials and leather used throughout the interior, and so it definitely looks really nice. And this 12-inch touchscreen kind of brings it all together. And so this is kind of like your, like I said, upscale. If you don't really like all these bells and whistles, you can get a Power Wagon with a few less options, but it's definitely nice that you can get a truck that's this capable off-road, but then it also has a very, very nice interior. Now that we're done going over all the features on the 2019 Power Wagon, let's take it out to see how it drives. We are setting off in the Power Wagon, and first and foremost, this thing is so high off the ground. It's crazy. I mean, I've driven a lot of lifted trucks since I've started this channel, and this basically feels like the same ride height as a lifted truck. Now, in terms of the actual size feel, definitely feels bigger like all of the other heavy duties, but it feels pretty easy to drive so far. Ride quality on the Power Wagon is actually really smooth. I'm not feeling a whole lot of bumps with the road or anything like that, so it actually drives suspension wise very smoothly. I do hear a little bit more with the tire noise, and you can feel a little bit more with the tires, but it's not super pronounced, so it's still a comfortable vehicle to drive, and it's still something you could drive on a daily basis if you wanted. And even on the highway, there's a little bit more road noise with the tires, but there's not a huge amount. Visibility in the truck is really good. I mean, I can see everything around me, so that is not a problem at all as well. These trailer mirrors actually help with visibility a ton. It has the blind spot monitoring system, which is awesome because it'll ping if someone's in your blind spot. But on top of that, these trailer mirrors with the two mirrors side by side, I mean, you can see literally everything around you. We're going to get an acceleration in just a moment here, but I'm noticing that 8-speed automatic is so much better than the 6-speed that this had. I mean, it's just always in the right gear, and it makes the truck actually feel quite a bit more powerful. So we are going to get a little acceleration here, nothing crazy though. Yeah, I mean, this is like a night and day difference compared to the previous generation Power Wagon. You guys can remember I did a video on a 2018 Power Wagon, and this just feels so much stronger. It feels so much more powerful. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a night and day difference. To wrap things up, what I would say overall impression wise is, if you are in the market for an off-road truck, which a lot of people nowadays really are, then this is definitely one of the options that you have to check out. It is super capable off-road, and it's actually really comfortable on-road as well. It's kind of like a nice in-betweener, because, you know, something like the Rebel, for example, is really good on-road, but it's not as good off-road. And I have a Rebel, but I'm willing to admit that. And so if you are in the market for an off-road truck, Raptor, Rebel, any of that kind of stuff, you definitely have to check out the Power Wagon, especially with the fact that they come with a winch from the factory. I mean, not a lot of manufacturers offer that kind of stuff. It's super cool. And there we have it, everyone, the 2019 Ram 2500 Power Wagon. And thank you everyone so much for watching. Again, big shout out to Larry Miller Dodge Ram in Sandy for providing us with the vehicle. If you are in the market for a new truck, definitely check these guys out. But as always, please subscribe if you're stopping in for the first time. Comment down below what you thought, and then I will see all of you in that next video.